The actor is Nicholas Coster in a scene from the soap opera Santa Barbara.
Oh, no. Why don't we just forget about everything except us, huh? Is it so strange that I should want you?
Later in the program, his future will be predicted by one of these three men. Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is John Cohan.
Number two.
My name is John Cohan.
Number three.
My name is John Cohan.
Only one of these people is the real John Cohan, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now let's meet our panel. Co-star of Murder, She Wrote, Ron Mason. Tony Award-winning actress Peggy Cass. Actor and raconteur Orson Bean. And Emmy Award-winning actress and producer Polly Bergen. Here's the host of To Tell the Truth, Lynn Swann.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you?
Fine.
Good, good. You know, we sit down like this each morning, and I always wonder what's really going on in your lives. So, who's done the most interesting thing in the last month?
My wife.
Your wife?
Yes, my wife. She was...
Not you, but your wife.
My wife. My wife was just selected as one of the 10 outstanding persons in Tarzana for her community work, and I'm so very proud of her that I just thought I'd tell you that.
Terrific.
Living with me, I think that's what one of the reasons was. I'm also the only one here with a wife.
Well,
That's true. That's for sure.
that's exciting, too.
I can tell about one of my dates if it'll lighten it.
It won't. Listen, let's get right to the story presented by our first team of... Well, it might.
Actually, it would liven it up a little bit, actually.
Presented by our first team of challengers, all three who claim to be John Cohan. And here is his story. Please read along with me. I, John Cohan, am a psychic to TV's most beloved performers, the stars of the daytime soaps. Actress Kathleen Noon of All My Children wanted to leave the hit show. I told her to hang in there, and she won an Emmy. Against my advice, Beverly McKenzie left Another World to do another soap. I was right. It was a flop. Kim Zimmer, who recently left Guiding Light, will be offered a juicy part in a new movie. Not only do I do readings for soap stars, but I did a little predicting for our To Tell the Truth panel. Polly Bergen will star on a new sitcom.
Yay!
Orson Bean will enter politics. Peggy Cass will venture to a faraway land.
Am I going to die?
And Broadway beckons to Ron Masak.
Is that 42nd and Broadway?
Heed my words. I was 1989 Psychic of the Year, and I predict I'll win again next year. Signed, John Cohan. We'll find out more about our soap psychic right after this. All right, panel. These three people all claim to be John Cohan, psychic to the TV soaps. Let's start the questioning with Polly Bergen.
Well, if you think I care at all which one the real one is, you're crazy. I want to know about my career. Number one, what sitcom am I going to do?
Well, I can't give you the name of the sitcom because I don't see that. What I do see is it'll be very successful and with another actress of great quality.
Well, at least there'll be one on the show. Number two, he said another actress with great quality. I said at least there'll be one on the show. I wasn't putting me up, I was putting me down. Oh, shut up. Number two, I've always loved the idea of a psychic, but I've never been to one. How do they come to you? I mean, do you see the future and the past, or just the future, or what?
It's primarily the future, premonitions, vibrations.
I see.
I predict it's Orson Bean's chance.
Number three, is this something you're born with?
Yes, it is. I believe it's a gift, and I think it's a gift from God.
Number one, do all people have some of this when you just have more of it?
I think some people are given this gift. Perhaps some people may have a latent gift, but...
Yeah. Number better latent than never, number one. Number two, the soap opera people, what attracted you to them or them to you?
Over the years, I do movie stars and also soap opera people, and most recently I'm writing for the Soap Opera Weekly. Each week I give a celebrity prediction from one of the people of the soap
Number
operas.
3, Kim Zimmer. She's a hot little number.
Thank you very much.
Oh, but
Orson. Yes. We were about to get there, but it's Peggy Cass's turn.
Number 2, this is very serious. Is Susan Lucci ever going to win an Emmy?
Not on the soap opera.
Well, I think that stinks.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Now, number 1, everybody's got a sitcom going to Broadway. Where am I going? Tibet?
I see you going across the Atlantic somehow. I think it involves something to do with an inheritance, is what I saw.
Listen, one pig left to be an island by a great-grandfather. No way. No way. Number 3, are you any relation to George M. Cohan?
Yes, I am.
Does he know you're doing this stuff?
He's passed away.
Time is up. Ron Masak.
Number 1, you said you won in 1988, and you predict you win again. Or you won last year, you're going to predict you win again. Well, did you predict the winner who preceded you?
I had a good idea about 1988.
That's a good idea, not a premonition. Number 2, who else? Do you know Jed Allen?
Yes.
What show does he do?
Now he does Santa Barbara.
But number 3, what show did he do before Santa Barbara?
He did, I believe, The Edge of Night.
The Edge of Night.
Ron, thank you very much. And panel, the time is up, and time to vote for either number 1, number 2, or number 3. Our team of challengers will receive $500 for each incorrect vote with a guarantee of $1,000. And if the panel is fooled completely, the team will receive $3,000. So panel, if you're ready to cast your ballots, we'll start with Polly Bergen.
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually ready to cast my ballot. However, I would be willing not to vote for the right person if they would give me a free psychic reading after the show.
Ooh.
I voted for number 2 because I think he's the one who really is a psychic. He appears to be a psychic. He has the demeanor of a psychic. He looks very trustworthy. And I'll see you after the show.
Orson.
I think number 2 has the look that he's staring into celestial tea leaves, even as we speak.
A faraway premonition.
Yeah.
Peggy.
I don't want to go to a faraway land. Okay. I voted for number 2. He looks like the type that'd send me there.
Rod?
Man, now I'm really worried because this is the first time I've agreed with the rest of the panel in a long, long time. I eliminated number 3 because Jed Allen did Days of Our Lives before he did that. And number 1 said he had a hunch. If he's a psychic, he knows better than a hunch. So I voted for number 2.
Ooh, we're weighted heavily. Everyone has voted for number 2. Not a single vote for number 1 or number 3. You guys better hold on. Hold your hands, and maybe you might generate a little luck for yourselves. Now it's time to find out who the real soap opera predictor is. Will the real John Cohan please stand up? That's great. That's great.
Don't you dare leave.
Pardon?
Don't you dare leave. You have to stay here and tell me everything.
Of course, of course.
We'll get right back to you. Because you didn't receive any incorrect votes, you'll receive the $1,000 guarantee. Right now, let's find out about your imposters. Number 1, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Kirby Tepper, and I own my own business as a word processing consultant.
Okay. Number 3, your name and what do you do?
My name is Kent Casper. I'm a stand-up comedian and a former district attorney from the Bronx.
Very, very good. And now, from Santa Barbara, Nicholas Coster. Nicholas? Nick. I have to ask you, what was it that John predicted for you in the past that's come true?
Well, he accurately predicted that I would leave a show I was doing called Another World to do a movie called All the President's Men. And then he accurately predicted I'd come to California. Oh, and he predicted accurately, yeah, that's the correct, right. He predicted accurately that I would get married again. Oh. And it was a big surprise to my wife.
Well, congratulations to you. John, what about the future for Nick?
Well, Nicholas I see, hold on now. Nicholas I see, he's working on Santa Barbara right now, and I see him leaving that for a real prominent, progressive motion picture where he'll really do terrific and be acknowledged more the way he should be acknowledged. And I also see that he's going to be doing I would think it would be a TV series, movies type of thing with his old co-star from Another World years and years ago, Susan Sullivan. I see something coming up, and I think it will be a terrific hit.
Well, let me ask you, do I make the billions I want to make? No, I don't want to make everybody upset when you say yes. Thank you all for being here and playing To Tell the Truth. We'll be back with a woman who fought the police and won right after this. We're back, so let's meet our next team of challengers.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Fanchon Blake.
Number 2.
My name is Fanchon Blake.
Number 3.
My name is Fanchon Blake.
Pamela, it's up to you to locate the real Fanchon Blake, and here is her story. Please, read along with me. I, Fanchon Blake, fought the Los Angeles Police Department and won. In 1969, after 20 years on the police force, I wanted to advance beyond my rank of detective sergeant. But because I was a woman, I was forbidden to take the lieutenant's exam. For 4 years, I complained to the city council and the police commission, to no avail. I decided not to take it anymore, and I filed a sexual discrimination lawsuit against the department. Immediately, I was given the silent treatment by my fellow officers. My phone was bugged, I was tailed, and one night, I was deserted by my partners and left alone on the streets without a backup. Due to stress, I suffered a stroke on the job. I decided to hang up my handcuffs and I retired. But I kept that lawsuit going, and 6 years later, I won. Today, because of me, there are over 1,000 women officers in the LAPD. Signed, Fanchon Blake. Let's start the questioning with Ron Masak.
Number 2, who was the chief of police in 1969?
Edward M. Davis.
Number 3, who was Tom Parker?
Tom Parker is the gentleman for whom the Parker Building is named. He was also a police chief in Los Angeles.
Number 1, tell me about when your backup left you. Let me back up. Were there more women on the force at that time?
No, just about 160 women on the force
at that time. Number 2, tell me.
Thank you, Ron. Peggy.
Thank you. Number 2, are you on disability pay?
No, ma'am.
Well, number 3, if you suffered a stroke, didn't you get any disability pay?
No, I retired, and that was sufficient. I got my pension.
I see. Thank you. Number 1, isn't it against the law to bug a policewoman's phone?
Yes, it is, but they wouldn't admit they did it. It was very primitive in those days, you know.
Thank you. But number 3, who defended the department against you when you brought your suit?
They did. They have their own lawyers. The police commission has their own lawyers.
Well, number 3, what defense did they use?
Oh, that they had the rules and that women were no good on the police force. They felt very strong about it, that we weren't able to do the job that men could do. Therefore, it would be dangerous for the public to have us serving.
But number 1...
Thank you. Orson.
Yeah, the L.A. cops are tough. They pulled me over. I said, "You look lovely today, officer." He gave me a ticket anyway. They don't care. Number 2, why did your fellow cops care that you wanted to be promoted? Why would they be against that?
They didn't want women to be over them.
Number 1...
That's it, Orson. Polly.
Well, first of all, whoever you are, I commend you enormously. It's women like you who have, I think, helped the women of the world by having the courage to stand up and be counted when you needed to be. Go. Number 1, anyway, why were you forbidden? In other words, did they not at least allow you to take the exam and say you failed? Or they were that open about their discrimination?
No. The exam was posted every 2 years. If it wasn't posted, we weren't allowed to take it. You applied for it, and then they notified you. We just didn't get notified, the women. The men were notified, but we were not.
I see. Number 2.
Holly, thank you very much. Your time is up, and time to cast your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Panel, if you're ready, we'll start with Ron Masak.
Well, a lot of reasons, I guess, but body language-wise, a lady who was in the police force with no regimentation, and I watched them as they stood up there, and you were reading, and number 2 stood at a full military attention, feet together, etc., etc. She knew, I believe Ed Davis was the chief of police, which was a correction for me. Tom Parker is the name of the building, named after the chief of police, and number 1 offered too much information, so I voted for number 2.
Okay. Peggy?
Well, number 3 seems to be more the Bel Air Country Club type than, it's meant in the nicest of ways than a detective. And number 2, you stumbled a little before you said the name of that other fellow. What was his name? Davis. And the thing is, I think you did that to put us off the scent like a true cop. 2.
Number 2. Okay, we'll go from Sherlock Holmes over there to Orson Dean.
To Dr. Watson. Well, good heavens. I voted for number 1 just because she has the look of the gumshoe about her. I don't know. It's the eyes. Those Irish eyes are smiling at me, and she looks like the cop who gave me the ticket.
Okay.
I thought all 3 of them are very, very well informed. And normally when guys do this, it's easy to figure out the wrong one because they're not as good as women, who do everything better, by and large. Certainly be policemen. And take that, you police force. I also voted for number 2, and I hope I'm wrong because I'd like for her to win more money.
Okay. The votes have been cast. We have 1 vote for number 1, 3 votes for number 2, and no votes for number 3. Now let's find out who the real cop fighter is. Will the real Fanchon Blake please stand up? Number 2. You did well. What's the current conditions on the LAPD for women?
Wonderful. We now have over 1,000 women on the LAPD, and from my case, there will be another 1,000 in the next 10 years, so we'll end up with about 2,000.
How many men?
You did a terrific job.
Wait a minute. How many men?
I think they're around 9,000 now.
Oh, that's not bad then.
Okay.
Not bad.
You did a terrific job. Let's find out who your imposters are. Number 1, your name and what do you do?
My name is Sally Stevenson, and I'm a secretary in an architect firm.
Okay. Number 3, your name and what do you do?
My name is Marilyn Mansour, and I'm retired. I was the head of the drama department at Westridge School for Girls in Pasadena.
Wonderful. There was only 1 incorrect vote, so you'll receive the $1,000 guarantee. And thank you all for being here today on To Tell the Truth. We'll be right back to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience in just a moment. Now it's time to play one-on-one with someone from our studio audience. So, Burton, who do you have for us today?
Lynn, meet Gail Bizzell from Duncan, Oklahoma.
Hi, Lynn.
Well, Gail, welcome.
Thank you.
Where's Duncan located?
It's in the southwest corner of Oklahoma.
Okay, well, we're glad you made it here down to the southern part of California.
Thank you.
You're going to have a chance to play one-on-one. I want you to meet a gentleman with 2 stories. Please welcome Mark Shepard. Mark? Mark is going to tell you 2 stories, only one of which is the truth. If you can spot that true story, you'll win $500. So, Mark, what's your first story?
I've invented a toilet gadget. It's called the Royal Flush. It forces a man to put the toilet seat down.
Okay, Gail, that may or may not be the truth. Listen to Mark's second story.
I've been riding the rail for 16 years, and I've just been crowned king of the hobos.
Okay, panel, it's up to you to help Gail win $500. You'll have 1 question about each story. Polly, we'll start with you, and the story about the inventor.
Number 1, what do you do to make the man put the seat down?
It's the flushing lever retrofits the front mounted. You close the lid, it flushes the bowl automatically.
Orson?
What a great boon for the human race. I think. You never got your beard caught in the toilet seat, I assume, did you?
Sure.
Did you?
Okay.
That was
your question. I know. Peggy.
Well, if you close the lid down to make it flush, who puts the lid up?
Oh,
The next person to operate it, I reckon.
Ron?
Why do I suddenly want a cough drop?
I don't know.
What made you invent this? I mean, are you married with daughters or something?
My mother and my wife.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you've heard the first story. Let's listen to story number 2. Polly, is he the hobo?
There was a very famous song about a guy that rode the rails. Do you remember the guy who recorded it?
And I love him. Boxcar Willie.
Orson.
Yeah, what was the hobo news?
The hobo news? It was just to tell us all the rumors that we make up ourselves and embellish our own stories.
Peggy?
Do you drive inside or outside the train?
Good weather, you ride outside.
Where?
Okay.
What's the difference between a hobo and a bum?
Us hobos have pride.
Well, Gail, you've heard the cross-examination. Is Mark the inventor of the toilet gadget, Or is he the king of the hobos?
I'm going to say the toilet.
The toilet gadget? Okay. Mark, what is your true story?
To tell the truth, I'm the inventor.
Congratulations, Gail. You win $500. Thank you very much for playing. Mark,
Yes.
I have to ask you,
Sure.
what were you doing when you came up with this idea?
I'm just sitting around.
Thank you, thank you. If that doesn't sell well, go ahead and advertise for the cough drops, okay? Thank you very much for playing To Tell the Truth. We'll be right back after this. Nick, thank you for being here. Panel, thank you for this edition of To Tell the Truth. We'll see you next time.
GSN, the network for games.